PSA, we cannot let Aaliyah become just an aesthetic.
If it wasn't for Tony, oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we all know, makes 21 years since Aaliyah's passing. And in honor of, the 21 years, and a few weeks ago was also the 21st anniversary of her self-titled album, Aaliyah. I got it right here. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. So, it's a sad thing, but I'm trying to make it more celebratory in a way. It was like we're celebrating her life. And last year, when it made 20 years, I did a traditional tribute where I had a lot of people participate from all around the world, fans from all around the world. And I want to thank everybody, once again, who participated. I put my time and effort, I put my all into that tribute. So if you want a more traditional tribute, I did one for Aaliyah last year. I'm gonna leave it up here for y'all. And I'm gonna leave it in the description box. This year, I decided to do something different. And I wanted to do a topic that I've been thinking about for years. And this has to do with Aaliyah and her image and her likeness becoming like the main part of her legacy. In a sense, Aaliyah's image taking over her legacy and Aaliyah becoming just an aesthetic. Something I see similar to Marilyn Monroe and what her legacy has become. Now, we all know there's a drastic difference between Marilyn Monroe and Aaliyah. Different eras, different time periods, different success, just a whole different story, different life story. But when you dig deep into it and you see different things, and I notice different things, you observe different things, there's a correlation that I'm gonna make, and y'all stick with me, it's gonna make sense. It's gonna make sense. Here we go. Now, we all know last year, Aaliyah's music, all her music was released to streaming services. It was a big thing. It was all over. It was billboards at Times Square. Y'all know, watch my videos from last year. I done made a whole entire thing about it. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. But we can't forget that within that last 15 to 16 years, there was nothing for Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? Our backs, all the Aaliyah fans around the world, our backs are just now healing from carrying her legacy for all that time, because her estate, her family was doing nothing. They was doing nothing, okay?
Oh my God.
They was doing nothing. I'm just now putting my cane away. Marilyn Monroe mostly acting, but she did some singing and dancing. Aaliyah mostly singing and dancing, but she did some acting. They're marveled after for their talent, but it's like, notice that their beauty and their likeness is such a big factor to their legacies. Now, let's not to mention, both Aaliyah and Marilyn Monroe were beautiful, right? Like, let's not, obviously, it's gonna be, if you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Like, if you have those good looks, that's gonna take you far. But I feel like it's in a way where it's like, with both of them, there's this thing, and I've been seeing and I've been watching a lot of Marilyn Monroe documentaries, and I read through the comments, and with Aaliyah, I've been telling you all through social media, through the last 6, 7, 8, basically 10 years, I've been on social media. I've been observing different things and different conversations, different discourses, and when Aaliyah trends, I'll look and see what people are saying over 10 years, right? And there's this common discourse of like Aaliyah was pretty, but da-da-da-da-da. And even with Marilyn Monroe, like, her good looks got her to where she is. Her good looks got her to where she was. She slept around. She did this and all that type of stuff. And it's kind of like, in a way, some people may not see it because they're so celebrated. But if you really look deep, you see that in many ways, their looks become more celebrated than their talent. And it's like, and I noticed, especially with over the last 5 to 6 years, Aaliyah's been becoming more of like a pop culture icon. She was always a pop culture icon, but specifically in today's age, with like the t-shirts and the sweaters and the merchandise and the collectibles, things like that. Marilyn Monroe always had that, and it's to such a degree now, and I'm about to show you some examples, some real life examples that I've seen where I'm like, wow, if Aaliyah's legacy doesn't snatch up like it's supposed to, in 5-10 years, similar things can happen. There's other actresses from her time era that's discussed. You know, you got the Audrey Hepburns and Elizabeth Taylors. They're discussed. But with Marilyn Monroe, she's at an ultimate high. And it's like she's like the most, you see the short blonde hair, you see the birthmark, red lips, the white fur, you know, the white dress, you just know that's her. You might not even know whatever movie she's been in. People can't even name 3 movies, but they know, oh, that's Marilyn Monroe. That's how far, that's how much her likeness, that's how much her image has gotten her. Whereas like 50, 60, almost 70 years after her death, she's still a well-known figure in pop culture. A lot of people still represent them in a way, but it's like, how true is a representation if like you're not a real fan of them, if you don't really know about them, you don't really know why they are popular, you don't really know why they're on a shirt in the first place, what makes them so special to be on a shirt. You know of them, you might know their name, they might be familiar to you, but you don't really know. You're just wearing it because, oh, it's a pretty shirt and it goes with my outfit, it goes with my sneakers, it goes with my purse. So, okay, Aaliyah, oh, I know her, I remember her, oh, I know her, oh, I may have heard of her, but, oh, it's a nice graphic sweater, it's a nice graphic t-shirt, and it goes with your sneakers and your heels. When you go to a random store, you see a random Marilyn Monroe shirt, and it's like, oh, I could wear that. Don't even know 4 movies she's been in, let alone 1. But you know, oh, that's Marilyn Monroe. Like, their aesthetic, their image has carried them to where some people don't even care to know what made them so famous, what made them so popular. They just know the name, they know the face, they know those certain pictures, and it's like, oh, they got this in a shirt, oh, it's red, oh, it's blue, okay, I can add this to my wardrobe, and that's all that matters. It's like with both of them, I feel like there's a semi nonchalance when it comes to really getting to know their legacies and getting to know their talents that made them who they are, that they were famous for, and not just their looks, you know? Notice that even on YouTube with some of the most popular videos about each of them, with like Marilyn Monroe, it's about, you know, her affairs and this and that and all the dark side of Hollywood and everything like that, right? But a lot of the popular videos you see about Marilyn Monroe is Marilyn Monroe's beauty secrets, Marilyn Monroe's secret diet, what did Marilyn Monroe eat in a day. Those type of videos get a lot of views on it. And with both Aaliyah and Marilyn Monroe, a popular topic of each of them is their mysterious deaths. Of course, okay, and then with Aaliyah is the controversies in the first album. Y'all know what I mean. Those are the type of videos on YouTube that become popular. And I'm a testament to that because all the different, I done made over 110, maybe 125 different Aaliyah videos. My most popular ones have to do with her passing and those controversies. Now, when it comes to her talent and her legacy, it's like, the algorithm is like, okay, we're gonna send it out to a few. But when it comes to those other topics, it's like, oh, boom, 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 and it's like all these views. And I'm like, damn, why couldn't the tribute video I did for Aaliyah last year for her 20th anniversary, well made, well produced, a lot of participation from a lot of fans around the world, why couldn't that get a lot of attention? Which I feel it didn't get. Why couldn't that get a lot of attention? You know, because people generally don't want to hear about that. They want to hear the scandal. They want to hear the controversy. They want to hear people talk about it and discuss it. But it's like learning about their talents, learning about what made Aaliyah want to make this song, what made Marilyn Monroe want to do this movie. It's kind of like okay, but the scandals, that's like, ooh, let me see about this.
And that pisses me off.
Aaliyah is more than the controversies. She's more than her death. And so is Marilyn Monroe. And I'm noticing that's a correlation between them that I'm like, it's getting out of hand. It's really getting out of hand. Now, for the people that's like, I'm not gatekeeping. I'm not saying, oh, before you wear an Aaliyah shirt, you need to know 101 facts about her. What's her name? What's her last name? What's her favorite color? Look, I'm not saying that. But I'm like, if you're going to wear an Aaliyah shirt, at least know the bare minimum. And piggybacking off of that, I have a story. And I have so many different stories because I got like over 25 Aaliyah shirts. I wear them in public, I wear them to work. And I've got many different reactions from people. I'm just like, I got a story. Like, I remember this is 2016, right? I went to the movie theaters. And I'm going to the movie theaters. I go to the ticket booth. The ticket booth lady is about to give us our tickets, right? And I had on an Aaliyah sweater. 2016, I had on an Aaliyah sweater. You could clearly see it's Aaliyah. Anybody who's a real fan. And her name was etched down the shirt. AALI, right? Big blue letters. Big Aaliyah picture. The lady, she's ringing the tickets up. She's like, oh, who is that on your shirt? I'm like, oh, this is Aaliyah. And she's like, no, I think that's Ashanti. I'm like, no, it's Aaliyah. She's like, no, I know Aaliyah when I see her. That's Ashanti.
Wait a minute, hold on.
You, are you dumb?
Are you kidding me? What? In my head, I'm just like,
you're going to jail. Understand me?
Going back and forth with me like, oh, that's Ashanti. That's Ashanti. And I'm just like, damn.
Why are you doing that?
You think you know? You have no idea.
If you're a real fan, you know Aaliyah when you see her. You didn't know that was Aaliyah. And did you not see her name going down the... I looked, I'm like, all right, thank you. And took my tickets and went to the movies. Because I'm like, I can't, I'm not doing it today. I'm not doing it. Confusing her with Ashanti. And that's another thing. I've been seeing like a lot of like, I thought that was Ashanti. I thought that was Ashanti. I'm like, I know Ashanti came out the year after Aaliyah passed. And, you know, they both have an A as the first letter of their name. But really, though? And I love Ashanti. I love her music. But for real, let's be honest. Who was wearing Ashanti shirts, Ashanti sweaters in 2016? Come on. Like, come on. So I'm telling you, when I do these videos, I keep getting signs. A few days ago on Twitter, an Aaliyah fan tweeted something to the effect of, oh, people wear Aaliyah shirts and don't even know 3 of her songs. And the tweet went kind of viral, and a lot of people was replying to it, quote tweeting it, and there was some responses like, oh yeah, da da da. People was telling different stories about how when they was wearing Aaliyah shirts and people would mistake her for this and that. And somebody was like, oh, is that Ariana Grande? And it's like they see a lot of little kids wearing her shirts, but they don't know her songs. It's just like, I told you, like Aaliyah is becoming an aesthetic, and she's just becoming like, okay, she's a familiar face. She got those familiar pictures, familiar poses. For example, this one is a major one. Y'all know I wore this many times, and I see a lot of people with this one. Y'all know this one. This is a major one, a popular one. And even from, I see the first era, and we know about that, and it's funny because it's like a lot of people don't even know about the era, but I'm like, the first era wasn't my favorite, but I do appreciate some of the music made. I do like some of the songs. So I have no problem with this because, you know, this is like Aaliyah and her tomboy era, you know, the street but sweet era. A lot of people will wear these type of shirts, but they won't even know 5 of her songs. They won't even know the name of her first 3 albums. And I'm like, damn, did her music being off streaming services affect her legacy that much? Where it's just like, and I'm not trying to be judgmental or like, but I see many over the years in public, all the time, I see many different people of many different races and ethnicities and ages wearing Aaliyah shirts, and I'm like, I'm like, does she really know who Aaliyah is? Does he really know who Aaliyah is? Or he just got the shirt because she looks familiar and it matches his outfit? And like I said before, I'm not gatekeeping. You don't gotta know 101 facts to know about Aaliyah, to wear her shirts. You don't gotta know 101 facts about Marilyn Monroe. You don't gotta know all her movies she's ever been in. You don't gotta know Aaliyah's whole discography to wear her shirts. But I'm like, with me, where do y'all stand with this? If I'm gonna wear a shirt of a celebrity or artist or a movie, it's gonna be something I watch or something I know about or something I have some type of liking to. Like, for example, another pop culture thing where it's like these pop culture rock band tees, Nirvana and Metallica and the Beatles. A lot of people wear their shirts, and I'm like, they don't have no idea. They don't have no idea of any songs they made. They don't even know who the members are. They don't even know the name of the members. So they just, oh, and it's like a black and white shirt, a blue and white shirt, gray white shirt, and it goes with their outfits. and that's just good enough for them to buy it. Like, oh, okay. I feel like I don't want Aaliyah's legacy to become reduced to pretty shirts and sweaters. Another story. Recently, I went to the mall, right? And I knew I was going to do this video. So I said, I went into certain stores. I said, let me see if they got some Aaliyah shirts or some Marilyn Monroe shirts. I went into this fairly popular store, and they had like a graphic tee section. It was $10 graphic tees. I said, okay, let me go over there and see if they got some Marilyn Monroe or Aaliyah shirts. I go over to the table, and they got like a little stand, and I see the shirts. I'm looking through them. Lo and behold, I see a Marilyn Monroe shirt. I'm like, okay, you know, the Andy Warhol, okay, that's pretty, all right. Then I go to the table and I look at the different shirts and I spot Marilyn Monroe. But then when I open the shirt, I see this.
What's going on? Y'all are going to jail.
Lord, I'm having a heart attack. Damn, this is some scary shit. Oh, I am scared.
What? They had Marilyn Monroe, obviously photoshopped, with all these tattoos on her, holding a football. Who was in charge of this? Who was in charge of that?
You're going
And whoever's
to
running
jail.
her state, how would they even know who to even get to run her state? Did this get approved through her state? What is this? Where I'm like, they can use her likeness in any way they want, and this is 60 something years later. They can use her likeness and put tattoos, Photoshop tattoos on her, have her holding a football, I'm just like, damn. And the thing about it was, compared to the other piles, the pile was already halfway gone, which means a lot of people had already bought the shirt. So I was like, And I told you, I keep getting these signs every time I do this video. I'm like, I don't want Aaliyah's legacy to end up like that. And I remember, if y'all remember back in the day when we was in the trenches, and this is like the 2010, 11, 12 days, before Rashad, Aaliyah's brother, was really doing anything, he would make certain tweets and about like, oh, he was gonna sue this and do this because people were making illegal Aaliyah shirts. And you know, Aaliyah didn't have no shirts back then, really. In like the mid 2010s, she didn't have no shirts. So people would take it upon themselves, get her most popular images, her most images that people really like of her, and put it on sweaters and t-shirts, and it would sell out. Certain websites.
What's going on? Y'all are going to jail. Period. What?
Rashad made it think about having lawsuits. Now, I feel like 6-7 years later, since he started in like 2015, right? Like this mass production of all these different Aaliyah shirts, and I'm happy for it. I'm like, wow, it's great to see, go in the public and see people wearing Aaliyah shirts, and I got many of them. And it's like so many different stores and websites have them. Google Aaliyah shirt, you'll see all these different stores, right? But I'm like, it's getting to the point where I'm like, wow, I feel like her legacy has almost been washed out in some type of way, where it's like instead of it being like a nice clean slate, it's like, so like I feel like with Selena, when somebody wears a Selena shirt, they know her story, they know her face, they know her legacy, they know her music. If it's not because they got into her on their own, it's because of the movie, right? The Selena movie come on VH1 every other week. Aaliyah doesn't have that. That movie, if you want to call it that came out on Lifetime with Wendy Williams, that was trash. That was half-ass, and you could tell there was no love, there was no care, there was no thought, there was no dedication, there was no true effort. There was no true effort put into that. It was just a quick cash grab. And because it's Aaliyah, people know her name, people know her likeness. It was one of the top watch TV movies of that year, which Wendy Williams was so proud to report. Now with Marilyn Monroe, she's had documentaries, and it's a documentary on Netflix that just came out a few months ago. I definitely recommend. I think it's called The Unheard Tapes of Marilyn Monroe. I definitely recommend that, so you can see like a deeper side of Marilyn Monroe, and not just what just like, you know, this is a common thing where people see this, they know it's Marilyn Monroe. The hair, the lips, the white fur. And this is another thing. I got this from a fairly popular website, and you see what it says, some like it hot. I'm one of those people where it's like, fun fact about me, I'm really into old movies and actresses and actors and the whole Hollywood era. I'm really into that. And Marilyn Monroe, I've watched a lot of her movies. I've really become a fan of her work. So I know Some Like It Hot, that was on this t-shirt, that's one of her movies. But when I would wear it to work, some people would come to me like, oh, I like that shirt. Where did you get it from? And they're like, Some Like It Hot, Some Like It Thought. What does that mean? And I'm like, oh, that's one of her movies she was in. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, So you was gonna buy this shirt with the saying of it over her eyes, Some Like It Hot, but you didn't know that that was at least one of her most popular movies she been in. And like I said, you don't gotta know every single fact or movie or filmography that Marilyn Monroe has been in, but it's like,
Oh my God.
another story where I remember like maybe 2 years ago, there was like this argument that people was having, you know, every once in a while. It was to a point where every few months Aaliyah was trending, and under the trend you could click on it, click on her name and see people talking about her. And there was this one guy that was going back and forth with Aaliyah fans saying, oh, you know, the whole thing about, oh, her being overhyped and he don't get the hype, blah blah blah. He was going back and forth with Aaliyah fans for like a while, and I kept seeing it on my timeline. But then one of us noticed something. We clicked on his profile picture. Now, mind you, he's been going back and forth with Aaliyah fans saying how she's overhyped, he don't get the hype, blah blah blah, right? We click on his profile picture, and don't you know this was wearing an Aaliyah shirt in his profile picture?
Wait a minute, hold up.
And I'm like, you see what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. You didn't think Aaliyah was all that talent-wise. And you can go back and forth with people on Twitter about how talented she was and how you didn't think she was all that, she was overhyped. But you thought she was all that enough and pretty enough and such an aesthetic to wear as a t-shirt. Mind you, he's going back and forth for a long time. And his profile picture, you click on it, he posing with a Aaliyah shirt. I'm like,
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
The lowest is what? 0.
what I'm talking about? Now, this is just minor examples, but I'm telling you, over the last 10 years, I've seen different things like that, and I've experienced different things with wearing her shirts, where people would just be like, oh, who is that again? Oh, is that the one that died in a plane crash? Oh, is that Ashanti? Oh, I'm like,
Oh my God.
and then bringing it back to all the things that Marilyn Monroe had to go through and how from a young age she was preyed on, and all the predators that were around her, surrounding her, and even in death. Marilyn Monroe, you know where she's buried. She's buried above ground, right? She has a certain plot. Don't you know Hugh Hefner, the founder of Playboy, pictures that Marilyn Monroe took that she didn't want nobody seeing. She did it for money. She got paid $50. He paid $500 for these said pictures. Started Playboy with these pictures, the magazine, and built the empire. Within a few days, a few weeks, over 50,000 copies were sold. He built Playboy off the foundation of Marilyn Monroe pictures that she didn't really want people to see. She didn't even give her permission for the pictures to be used. He bought them behind her back and used them. Never even met her. In interviews, he was even calling her the ultimate blonde, saying, oh, I could be with her for eternity. And don't you know, before he died, he purchased a plot next to her where she's buried, right next to her, for $55,000. So now, this predator that used her pics without her permission to build this magazine that made him so much money, she only got paid $50 for, is buried right next to her. Like I said before, if you're gonna buy a shirt with a celebrity's face on it, with a pop culture icon's face on it, at least know the basics. That's just me. y'all might feel differently, and I get it. Sometimes you just want a shirt that matches your outfit, but I'm like, if I want to wear somebody's whole face on my shirt, a rock band, an actress, a singer, a rapper, at least know the bare minimum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where y'all at with that? Do y'all agree with me with that? Because I get it. The merchandise, the shirts, the clothing, the collectibles, all of that is fun. All of that is dope, especially for the real fans. But you don't want their legacies to get lost in translation and get reduced to a pretty shirt that goes with somebody's outfit. That's where I'm at with it. Where do y'all stand with it? Like, when you buy these shirts, I know a lot of people are into these graphic tees, pop culture tees. Do you look for artists or people or bands or whatever that you're really into, or you just, oh, it goes in my outfit, I'm gonna just buy it? Because for me, I'm like, that's a great thing to have all these Aaliyah shirts or these Marilyn Monroe shirts and all this Marilyn Monroe merchandise. And over the last however many years, Marilyn Monroe has been one of the most top celebrities in death. But I'm like, all this money that's been generated off her likeness, off her image, because she was so beautiful, how many of these people that actually bought this stuff know about her? Especially in today's age, 2022, going into 2023, how many people actually know about Marilyn Monroe and not just, oh, she's beautiful, she got the blonde hair and the red lips and the little birthmark? And even with Aaliyah, besides her being, oh, the singer that passed in a plane crash, oh, the one, I thought that was Ashanti, oh, I didn't even know she sung that song. But like I said, you see a shirt like this and, oh, she looks pretty on it, it's blue and white, it goes with your jeans, it goes with your sneakers, so you're just gonna buy it. You don't barely know anything about her, you might have heard about her, you know the name, but it's like, oh, it goes with my sneakers, I'm gonna just buy it anyway. That's what I really don't want to happen. I feel like y'all saw that Marilyn Monroe shirt with the Photoshop tattoo, fake football outfit, and a football in her hand, right? And she got like a football mark on her eye. Things keep going like that. Aaliyah's legacy is gonna end up being in a way where it's like she's gonna have all these different people making money off her likeness and image in more ways than one, in more ways than none. And I don't want that. Of course, we all know Aaliyah was beautiful. We all know Marilyn Monroe was beautiful, but their legacy is more than their beauty. Let's celebrate their talent. Let's celebrate their achievements, what they accomplished in these harsh industries. Marilyn Monroe, Hollywood back then, and even Aaliyah in the music industry back then. Let's celebrate them for what they achieved. Of course, they're beautiful. You know, they had the good looks, but they're more than that. Their legacy is more than that. And that's all I was trying to say. And I just don't want Aaliyah to become just an aesthetic. That, you know, somebody could wear her on a shirt one day and then disrespect her the next because it's just, you know. Guys, that was just my take on it. Aaliyah and the Marilyn Monroe effect and the danger of her becoming just an aesthetic. Where do y'all stand with that? Let me know down below. This could be a really interesting comment section. I can't wait to read your comments, interact with y'all, see what y'all think. And like I said before, it's been 21 years. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. I know she's looking down on us. I know she's happy. I know she's proud of what her fans have been able to accomplish and achieve and how we've been holding her up for so long. And we want to continue to do so. And I can't wait to get this discussion started with y'all. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.